everyone, this is Nagu, your crochet tutor. Today we'll be seeing how to crochet this star baby blanket. You can also use it as a baby blanket or you can use it as a placemat. So it is looking very nice with a ripple effect, and our 12 points, they are looking very nice and cute. I have made it using 2 colors. You can also use multiple colors and make it into a rainbow star baby blanket. Let's take a look at the materials that are required for this star baby blanket. I'll be using 2 different colors for this. So I am using Olivia branded yarn and I am using lemon grade. This is my color A, and for color B I am using the same Olivia brand yarn and the shade is buttercream. You can even use multiple colors and make a colorful baby blanket. I am using only 2 colors, and for this project I'll be using a 4mm hook. Based on the thickness of your yarn, you can either increase or decrease your hook size. Today I'll be using a 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle and few stitch markers. Grab your crochet supplies. Let's get started. For this project we'll be working in rounds. Start off by making a magic circle. So now it's ready. We are going to work in double crochet. Start off by making chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So after making 3 chains, I am going to use a stitch marker and mark my 3rd chain over here. We are going to work 11 more double crochets into the same magic ring. Including this chain 3, now I have made 3 sets of double crochets. We have to work 9 more double crochets. So altogether, including this chain 3, you will be having a total of 12 double crochets for round number 1. So work double crochets for this entire round, and I'll meet you when I have a total of 12 sets of double crochets. We have reached the end of round number 1. I have a total of 12 sets of double crochets. Now we'll pull this extra yarn off and close our magic ring. I have closed my magic ring. Now we are going to make a slip stitch in our 3rd chain over here. Remove the stitch marker and we'll work a slip stitch. So our round number 1 is completed. Moving on to round number 2, we are going to work 2 sets of double crochets into each of our stitches for round number 2. Start off by making a chain 3. After making chain 3, using your stitch marker, mark it over here. Into the same stitch, work another double crochet. So counting this as our first double crochet, this stitch we have made 2 sets of double crochets, and now into our next stitch work 2 sets of double crochet. Into each and every stitch work 2 sets of double crochets, and in this manner we'll be having a total of 24 sets of double crochets in this particular round. So work 2 sets of double crochets into each and every stitch, and I'll meet you at the end. We have reached the end of round number 2. At this point we'll be having a total of 24 sets of stitches, including this chain 3 over here. Remove the stitch marker and make a slip stitch into your third chain over here, and we'll finish off this round. It's done. So until now we made a basic circle. From now on our blanket will start to take the shape of a star. So here we are going to continue with our double crochet. So start off by making chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this is our first double crochet. Use a stitch marker and mark the top of your chain 3. Now what we are going to do is we are going to skip the next stitch over here, and into our third stitch we are going to work a double crochet, chain 2 and another double crochet into the same stitch. So as you can see, a V shape has been formed. So next what we are going to do is skip the next stitch, and into the next stitch work a double crochet, chain 2 and again a double crochet, and now again I'm skipping the next stitch and move on to the next stitch and make a double crochet, chain 2 and again a double crochet, so the V shape has been beautifully formed and it's looking nice. Follow the same pattern of making a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet by skipping one stitch. I'll meet you when I reach the end for round number 3. I have reached the end of round number 3. So as you can see, we have made a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in each stitch by skipping one of the stitches, and now I have my last stitch over here. So after skipping this stitch, what I'm going to do is, while beginning this round we made 3 sets of chain. That is our first double crochet over here. So we are going to finish the second half of it. So into the same stitch like the beginning chain, insert your hook and make a double crochet and chain 2. Now at the top of your chain 3 we are going to make a slip stitch. Round number 3 is done. At this point there are chances for our mat to curl up because the number of stitches has been reduced. Nothing to worry about it. As we move on, we'll be increasing the number of stitches and no need to worry regarding this. Now if you see, we'll be having 12 chain 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. We started off by making 12 sets of double crochets. So now we are having 12 chain 2 spaces, and the number of points for our star blanket will be 12. We'll have 12 points in our star blanket. Now let's move on and see how to make round number 4. Let's begin our round number 4. Round number 4, we are going to work in this chain 2 space. So make a slip stitch over there. Fine. Now start off by making chain 3. So this will be counted as our first double crochet, and into the space one more double crochet, chain 2, and again 2 sets of double crochet in the same chain 2 space. We'll get something like this. So now the V, it's looking nice. This chain 3 will also be considered as our double crochet. So we have worked 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet in this space, V space, and I'm using a stitch marker and I'm marking my top of my chain 3 over here. So using a stitch marker will be easy for you while you are finishing the round. And now moving on to the next space. This is my next chain 2 space. In this space again I'll be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 more double crochet in the same space. This is our pattern for round number 4. In each of the chain 2 space from the previous round, we'll be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and again 2 double crochet. This will be the pattern for our round number 4. Follow the same pattern of working 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in each of the chain 2 space. I'll meet you when I reach the end of round number 4. We have reached the end of our round number 4. I have made my last set of 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. As you can see, now the star pattern, like star shaped one, has come and our blanket has started to take the shape. Now remove the stitch marker over here and make a slip stitch at the chain 3 over here. Done. Now I am going to change to my color B. So for what I am going to do is, for every 4 rows I am going to change my color. So the first 4 rows I worked with my color A, and the next 4 rows I'll be working with color B. Like that I'm going to change my colors. You can do as you wish. Like if you want to work for 5 rows, then you can work 5 rows with color A and you can change the color. Now let's change the color. I'll cut this yarn off. So we'll weave these ends off at last. So we have another end over here. We'll weave it off finally. Now I'm going to take my color B. Now you can start off from any of the chain 2 spaces. So you can choose any of the chain 2 spaces and you can join your color B from there. So I'm using this chain space. make a chain 1 and secure it. In this round also we are going to use double crochet. So start off by making chain 3. This will be my first double crochet over here. Into the same space I am going to work another double crochet. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochet into the same space. This is the same thing which we did for our previous round, the same way we worked. Now as you can see, here we have 2 sets of double crochets over here, and this pattern is looking like a hill. So what we'll be doing for our pattern is, we'll be skipping the first and the last stitch in each of these mountain. So for example, if you see here, we have 2 double crochets over here and another 2 over the last side. So I'll be skipping the first stitch over here and the next stitch over here. Now I'll be working in the next stitch, like in this stitch I'll be working 1 double crochet and I'll skip my next one. In the same way, when we come to our next point over here, skip the first stitch over here and into the next stitch work 1 double crochet. And now into this chain space, as usual, we'll be working 2 sets of double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 more double crochet. So now we are here. So here it is downhill. What we'll be doing here is, we'll be working this double crochet and the next one we'll skip it. So this one I'll skip it, and we have come to our next peak over here. So while going uphill, the first stitch I'm skipping it here, and into my next stitch I'll work 1 double crochet, and now into the space work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And now here in the next double crochet work 1 double crochet. So I have worked my double crochet over here. Now downhill, skip this stitch over here, and similarly in our next peak skip the first one and into the next one work 1 double crochet. This will be the pattern for our round number 5. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you when I reach the end of this round number 5. Now I have reached the end of my round number 5. I have worked my last set over here. So I worked a double crochet over here. I will skip this last one, and this is the beginning of the point which we started here. So we have 2 double crochets over here. We'll skip the first one and into the second one work 1 double crochet, I have worked 1 double crochet. Now top of the chain 3 over here, we'll make a slip stitch. So this is the top of the chain 3. It's done. So we are getting the peak. Each and every peak is looking nice. Now moving on to round number 6. In this round also, what we'll be doing is we'll be skipping the first and the last stitch in each of the peak. So here, as you can see, we are already in the middle over here. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off by making chain 3. So this is my chain 3, and into my next stitch work 1 double crochet, in the chain 2 space. As usual, we'll work 2 sets of double crochet followed by a chain 2, followed by a chain 2. Then again into the same space I'll work another 2 double crochet. The chain 2 space will always work a 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And now we are going downhill over here, and what I'm going to do is I'll be working here. We have 3 double crochets. I'll work in the first 2 double crochet, and the last one we will skip it. Last one we'll skip it, and now we are moving on to the next hill. So while going uphill, skip the first stitch over here, and into your next stitch work a double crochet. Like into the next 2 stitches work 1 double crochet each. I have worked 2 double crochets. Now we have reached the chain 2 space. In this chain 2 space we'll work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 more double crochet into the same space. Now we are moving downhill. We have 3 stitches over here. Work in the first 2 stitches. Now I am skipping my last stitch and moving on to the next peak. Skip the first stitch and into the next 2 stitches work 1 double crochet, and in this space we'll be working 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And while moving downhill, like we'll skip the while moving downhill we'll work the first 2 stitches and we'll skip the last stitch. So we are skipping this so that we'll get this nice dip over here. So between each of the peak we'll get a small dip over here. So we are skipping the first and the last stitch over here. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end. We have reached the end of our round number 6. These peaks are looking nice. Finishing it as usual, you make a slip stitch at the top of your chain 3 over here. So our round number 6 is completed. So far, if you see, like we started off by making a circle, then we gradually started to develop the shape of a star for our blanket. So these rows are the normal ones. So after row number 7, we are going to do some repetitive rows. These repetitive rows can be made n number of times for your blanket. So these rows are the base for your blanket. We started off by making 12 sets of double crochets, and this 12 set of double crochets has turned into 12 points for your star. So you have to be careful while starting it. You have to make sure that you have 12 sets of double crochets, and in the next round 24 sets of double crochets, and followed by this V space. This V space will be having 12 sets of V spaces, and now if you count and see, you'll be having 12 points in the star. Moving on to round number 7. So round number 7 will be following the same pattern of skipping the first and the last stitch in this mountain shaped one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slip stitch into my next stitch. I have made a slip stitch. Now make chain 3. This will be your first double crochet, and now into the next 2 stitches work 1 double crochet. I have made 1 double crochet. Now we have come to this chain 2 space from our previous round. In our round number 7, what we are going to do is we are going to do a slight change in this. We are going to work 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet in this space. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, and into the same space I am working another double crochet. So this will be our only change in this round number 7, and now moving on downhill, I'll be working the 3 stitches over here, and this last stitch I'll be skipping. So our point is looking nice, and now moving on to the next thing. I have skipped my last stitch over here, and in this next mountain I am skipping this first stitch, and into our next 3 stitches we'll be working 1 set of double crochet each. Now we have reached our chain 2 space over here. In this space I am going to work double crochet, chain 2 and 1 more double crochet into the same space, and now moving downhill I'll be working in the first 3 stitches, and I'll skip this last one. So follow the same pattern of making the points over here, and only the difference is in this chain 2 space we'll be working 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet. Apart from this, you will skip the first and the last stitch in this hill. So we are skipping this so that we get a nice dip over here for our star, a dip between 2 points. So follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end of our round number 7. I have reached the end of my round number 7. Now I'm going to skip this last stitch in here, and we have already skipped the first stitch over here. Now make a slip stitch at your top of your chain 3. So we have made a slip stitch at the top of our chain 3. Now what I'm going to do is, using a marker, mark your row number 7. So we are marking it here so that we know that this is the beginning round of our repetitive round. This is our beginning round of our repetitive round. So I have used the stitch marker and marked it. Now moving on to row number 8. Like we are going to follow the same pattern like of our previous row. The only change is in our chain 2 space, here we'll be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and a 2 double crochet. So we have come to a regular one. Now since we are skipping this first stitch, into my next stitch I am making a slip stitch. Done. Start by making chain 3 for our round number 8. So after making chain 3, I am going to work into the next 2 stitches, one set of double crochet each. Now we have come to the chain 2 space. Here we are going to make 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So row number 8 and 9 will be the same thing. In the chain 2 space we will be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and a 2 double crochet in the space. So after this, here while going downhill as usual you will skip the last stitch and will be working in the remaining stitches. So in the remaining stitch I am working 1 double crochet each. Now moving on to our next point, I will skip the first stitch and I will work in the remaining stitches. So follow the same pattern. The only difference is in the chain 2 space, like as usual we will be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and a 2 double crochet. So this is our pattern for our round number 8. Chain 2 and in the same space again 2 set of double crochet. Now moving downhill, I'll be skipping only my last stitch. So in the remaining stitches work 1 double crochet each. So follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end of our round number 8. We are at the end of our round number 8. So I have made it, and these last stitch we'll skip it, and here the first stitch we have already skipped it. Now I'm going to make a slip stitch at the top of my chain 3 over here. So like previously, after working 4 rows I changed my color. So now we have made 4 rows with my color B. Now I am going to change to my color A. So we'll cut this yarn off and we'll join our color A here. I have finished off. Now let's join our color A. While joining, I am going to start from this chain 2 space. So if you are not changing color and if you are following the same pattern, then we have made a slip stitch at the top of our chain 3 over here. Make a slip stitch into our second stitch, and from there work 1 set of double crochet each, and while coming to our center, so I'll make a chain 3. So this is my first double crochet. So for our round number 9, we are going to follow the same pattern as that of our round number 8. So I'm going to work 2 double crochet in this space, chain 2 and 2 more into the same space. So this one was the one which we followed for our round number 8. And now moving downhill, work 1 double crochet into each and we'll skip our last stitch in the downhill. Now I have skipped my last stitch here and into moving on to our next point over here. This first one I'm skipping it and into the next stitches work 1 double crochet each. And now we have reached the chain 2 space. In this chain 2 space work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 more double crochet in the same space. And moving downhill work 1 double crochet into each stitch, leaving the last one. So this will be the pattern for our round number 9. Round number 9 is similar to that of our round number 8. In this star blanket, our rounds 7, 8 and 9 are repetitive rounds. If you see, our round number 8 and 9 are the same thing. Like in the chain 2 space we are working 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet for both round number 8 and 9. Only in round number 7 we are working 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet. So our rounds 7, 8 and 9 are our repetitive rows. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end of this round number 9. So I have almost reached the end of my round number 9. So here is the remaining half of our first peak which we started. So I have skipped the last stitch over here and I'm skipping the first stitch, and now into the stitch work 1 double crochet each into the remaining stitches in the uphill. Now make a slip stitch into the top of your chain 3 over here. So we have reached the end of our round number 9. So here is our stitch marker. This is our 7th round, 8th round and 9th round. Now we are again going to repeat, like for round number 10 I am going to repeat round number 7. So now I will repeat 7, 8, 9. Then again 7, 8, 9. So next round, like after working the next round, remove the stitch marker and mark it over there, so that you will get an clear understanding that like after working 2 more rows we have to repeat it. It will be easy for you to understand. Now what I am going to do is we are in the middle only for this round, so I will be starting with a chain 3. Now I am going to repeat my round number 7, and now into my next stitch work 1 double crochet, and into this space I will be working 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet. So this is my round number 7, pattern for my round number 7, and follow the same pattern of working 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet into the space, chain 2 space of the previous round. And while going downhill you will skip the last stitch, and while moving uphill you will skip the first stitch. So only this change in this round number 7 is you'll be working 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet in this space. That is the only difference here. So from now on we are going to repeat the rows 7, 8 and 9. So you can repeat it n number of times so until you reach your desired size for your baby blanket. I am going to switch between colors for every 4 rows. So after completing 4 rows with my color A, I'll again switch it back to my color B. So you can switch between colors as you need for your pattern, and even you can use multiple colors for this baby blanket. From now on I'll be repeating the rows. So for row number 7 in the chain 2 space we'll be working 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and for row number 8 and 9 you'll be working 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So follow the same pattern and make this baby blanket. I'll show you when I am done with my baby blanket. As you can see, I have made my star blanket until this. So we have made 4 rows of my color A, then followed by my color B with 4 rows. I have made total of 20 rounds I have made. So I have finished with my color A. You can even use multiple colors as already said. I have used about 80 grams of my color A. So this is the shade lime green. I have used about 50 grams of my color B. This is buttercream. Now let's see how to weave off all the ends. So as you can see, we have all the ends over here to be weaved off. Now let's see how to weave off those ends. So here I have started my repeat round 7 and I have done my 8th round and I have stopped it. Based on the requirement for your blanket, you can either increase or decrease your number of rounds. Now I have finished it here. Now let's see how to finish it off. So now let's join it using a tapestry needle and we'll weave the ends. Similarly, we'll tie off all these here. In the similar way, we'll tie all the extra ends which are here and we'll cut off the yarn. So we have weaved off all the ends for our mat. Now let's check the measurement. So it is 55 centimeters or 21.5 inches in diameter. You can do this mat in different colors and in different sizes. You can even try a different worsted weighted yarn and use a different hook size for this. Since I have used this Olivia brand yarn, the placemat is looking nice and thick. So you can use different kinds of yarns and different kinds of hooks for this baby blanket. You can even either increase or decrease the size of your mats by increasing or decreasing the number of rounds we made. I made 4 rows with my color A, then followed by 4 rows with my color B. Instead of that, you can even use 2 rows one color, 2 rows your second color. You can do in that way. In case of any questions related to this placemat, please be free to ask. I'll revert to you back as soon as possible. I'll meet you in another crochet tutorial. Until then, bye. Happy crocheting.